sense of diversity. And so academia has profited and benefited not only from affirmative action, but all of the efforts at a broadening of diversity. And I think that sense of inclusion in our society today is not mandated by law and affirmative action, but would be the outgrowth, the very positive growth, of which if I'm going to do any serious dialogue, I want diversity in my dialogue group, committee, whatever, because that's the only way that we can get closest to the truth of whatever problem or issue we're trying to address.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Dr. Helm and Father Torson, so if we avoid either the idealist position or the pessimistic position, and we look for a more pragmatic one, where in either the academy or society is the cutting edge of these dialogues? Are there groups that are doing multicultural groups,
Together.
racial groups, together to talk as plainly as both of you did today about race?
So the question on the floor is basically, where's the place for these dialogues? Where is it happening?
Is it happening?
Is it happening? I would say yes, but they're not. A lot of times these dialogues are not safe. People feel attacked or misunderstood, or they get hurt and they get angry. When I was 19 at the University of Illinois in Champaign, one of the most segregated places I've ever been in my life, because it was a big enough school that had every group of everybody, so that's what everybody did. They got everybody's group of everybody, and that's where they stayed, right? And that was, and so I went to, in my dorm, I went to a talk on diversity and turned into what? A brawl. A brawl. And I thought, oh my God, it terrified me. And I thought, I will never participate in something like that again. So in part, my career has been, how do I talk about this, make it safe, and yet still have controversy, little controversy, because it's necessary, right? I think actually, at least in my opinion, universities are frequently where these discussions happen. People have them in classrooms, sometimes they may be forced to have them, but I think universities are frequently places where these things happen. Yeah, that would be my opinion.
I'll offer just one example. I totally concur. This is why we're here. One example would be, and it comes from my own experience once again, I'm a member of the Precious Blood community, and we have a number of our guys that are working in back of the yards area of Chicago, which would be not too far from the LaSalle High School. And they live and work in the middle between gangs from African Americans and gangs for Hispanics. And the work that they try to do particularly has to do with juveniles who have been incarcerated at least for a period of time. And they are really working an honest, conscious effort to bring these two groups together. And again, I don't say this as judgment on those two groups, but they have to go pick up some of their folks who want to participate because they can't walk the 2 blocks or 3 blocks to get to the center where this is going on. So I just offer that as one very small kind of way of which efforts are being engaged to overcome the divisions of race.
And I will also say they happen through personal relationships. When you know someone, are friends with someone, have a personal vested interest in someone who is different than you, it changes your view of the world.
Changes.
Right. And so really the idea is to form personal relations, not just with somebody in a classroom, but to have friendships with people who are different from you, because that is when you become personally invested in learning about differences and appreciating them, not just in a classroom, but actually making use of the diversity around you. Again, when I was in college, I belonged to the Indian American Student Association, first of all because it was food, and I love to eat. So, the American and the Asian American Student Association, what do they call it? It wasn't LASO there. I can't remember. The African American Student Association, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life, really. So I would challenge you to have personal relationships with people to learn about and appreciate differences.
I would just close with one thought in that, and where I've experienced the greatest sense of belonging and sense of coming together have been in athletic teams. Usually they're diverse and they're working hand in hand, side by side, and so I compliment all those efforts. And the other place where I've experienced it was my time in the Air Force. We just didn't have time to worry about things like race, and so we were always working closely with one another, and that was a great experience. It wasn't perfect, but a great experience of unity.
I think that's pretty much it for right now. Thank you for showing up. We have further speakers throughout the day and as well as tomorrow, so please stick around if you have extra time. If not, thank you for coming.
Well, thank you.